Top 10 most perception-shattering natural wonders on Earth. From a hellfire that has burned for half a century to the desert's giant eye visible from space. From an optical illusion that seems to swallow the sea to a thunderstorm matrix that never quits, our planet has shaped some of the most mind-bending wonders over 4.6 billion years. These phenomena aren't just curious oddities. They're living epics written by shifting crusts, alchemical element reactions, and the slow push of evolution. Hello, I'm V. Join us as we explore the 10 most perception-shattering natural marvels on Earth. Number 10. The submarine mega-waterfall. Hidden beneath the cold, dark expanse between Iceland and Greenland lies Earth's mightiest waterfall, a 3,505-meter plunge that rivals any on land yet flows in complete silence. Carved out by retreating glaciers between 17,500 and 11,500 years ago, the Denmark Strait cataract funnels frigid, salt-dense Arctic water over a submerged cliff up to 160 kilometers wide, at a staggering rate of roughly 3.2 million cubic meters per second. 30 times the Amazon's flow and enough to fill 6 billion liters every second. First unveiled by late 28th century sonar surveys, this undersea torrent remained invisible to all but the most sophisticated instruments, an unseen titan powering Earth's global conveyor belt and silently regulating our climate. Beneath the strait's rolling surface, a hidden drama unfolds. Here, ice-chilled water from the Greenland and Norwegian seas, cold enough to approach its maximum density at 4 degrees Celsius, collides with the warmer Irminger Sea currents before tipping over a submerged ridge known as the Greenland-Iceland Rise. As the denser water spills downward, it travels some 3 kilometers, cascading more than 3 times the height of Angel Falls, but without thunderous roar or whitewater fury. Instead, its presence is betrayed only by subtle temperature and salinity shifts, painstakingly recorded by conductivity temperature depth, CTD, probes and autonomous gliders dispatched on decade-long research campaigns. Scientists liken it to a colossal, silent pump. Every second, enough water to drown Niagara's flow 2,000 times drops into the abyss, feeding North Atlantic deep water and driving the thermohaline circulation that carries heat and nutrients around the globe. Without this hidden cascade, Europe's mild climate and the productivity of North Atlantic fisheries might look very different. Yet perhaps the most astonishing fact is its invisibility. Even research vessels skirting the strait cannot see the waterfall. Only through high-resolution multi-beam sonar can its sheer drop and width be revealed, mapping out a 200-kilometer span that could swallow entire fleets without a ripple. Early expeditions in the 1990s nearly lost instrumentation to the downward rush. Mooring lines were shredded and current meters snapped off like twigs, underscoring the raw power at work. Number 9. The Devil's Eye. On the desolate plateau of Qinghai in China, a sinister crimson spring known as Aiken Quench has earned the name the Devil's Eye. From afar, the iron and sulfur-rich water gurgles from a circular pit over 10 meters across and plunges more than a kilometer deep, its half-meter-high jets hissing at a constant 30 degrees Celsius. As the sulfur meets oxygen, rust-red streaks fan out like a giant, malevolent iris painted across the earth. Life dares not drink here. Corrosive acidity strips vegetation bare, and unsuspecting birds fall poison from the sky. Geologists believe deep fractures funnel high-pressure, mineral-rich water upward. But the full story of this otherworldly eye remains unsolved, its very visage a jarring reminder of our planet's hidden ferocity. Number 8. The Dallo Hydrothermal Field. In Ethiopia's Danakil Depression lies Dallo, a place so surreal it feels plucked from another planet. Here, sulfur springs and salt lakes mingle atop salt mounds in splashes of fluorescent yellow, green, red, and orange, like an artist's wild palette spilled across a scorched plain. Day after day, surface temperatures exceed 50 degrees Celsius, while rainwater seeping down meets molten rock and shoots back up as acid pools boiling at 100 degrees Celsius, with pH values as low as minus 1.5. Laden with half-saturated salt brine, these cauldrons corrode everything they touch. Upwelling volcanic forces have heaved a 2-kilometer-thick salt layer skyward. When that salty slurry hits the sun, it crystallizes in bands of white, then rust-red as iron oxides form, and finally yellow-green, where sulfides and oxides mingle. Though such extremes, scorching heat, caustic acid, and crippling salinity, once seemed inhospitable to life, scientists have now found extremophile microbes eking out an existence here, metabolizing sulfur and iron to leave behind vivid red and green mineral blooms. Still, at Dallo's fiery core, human instruments struggle to survive, making this the ultimate natural laboratory for testing life's hardiest limits. Number 7. The Blue Ice Tunnel. Beneath Antarctica's towering glaciers, summer melt carves hidden caverns in the ice, only to refreeze into crystalline passages come winter, when sunlight streams through these bubble-pore ice walls, rarely scattering strips away reds and yellows, leaving only deep blue light to paint the tunnel in an otherworldly glow, like a liquid sapphire lodged in a field of white. These ice halls can stretch for 150 meters, their layered walls etched with the glacier's growth rings from years of freeze-thaw cycles. Yet they are ephemeral. As warming temperatures erode the glaciers, roughly 30% of known blue ice tunnels collapse or shift each year, making each one a fleeting masterpiece of nature's artistry. Number 6. The Mirror of the Sky. When the rainy season floods Bolivia's Salar de Uyuni, from December through March, a shallow sheen coats its 12,000 square kilometers salt crust and transforms it into the world's largest natural mirror. With up to 90% reflectivity, the salt flat dissolves the horizon, fusing sky and earth into a seamless dreamscape. Born from a remnant of a prehistoric lake some 40,000 years ago, its perfectly flat salt layer, only 2 to 6 meters thick with less than a meter of vertical variation, makes it an unrivaled calibration surface for Earth observation satellites. Outside the rains, the crust cracks into a geometric puzzle of polygons. Beneath that cracked shell lie lithium reserves that may account for half of the planet's total, blending the Salar's stark beauty with immense strategic importance. Number 5. The Blue Flames of Ijen Volcano. Deep in East Java, Indonesia, the Ijen volcano defies everything we think we know about fiery eruptions. After night falls, fierce gusts stoke hidden vents where molten rock heats vast seams of sulfur. At around 600 degrees Celsius, sulfur gas ignites the moment it meets oxygen, unleashing an eerie, ghost blue flame that dances across the crater's edge. This isn't lava glowing in an unusual hue. It's pure sulfur combustion lighting up the darkness in spectral waves between 400 and 500 nanometers. Yet, beauty here comes with a brutal price. Cradled beside these electric blue fires lies one of the world's most acidic volcanic lakes, pH 0.5, whose clouds of sulfur dioxide and hydrogen sulfide choke the air. Miners, often wearing nothing more than simple masks, descend into the crater for 12-hour shifts, hauling out yellow sulfur blocks for barely €2.50 a day. Prolonged exposure to the toxic fumes cuts their life expectancies sharply below 50. Despite the hazards, intrepid travelers now flock here for that spectral glow. Those steep cliffs and rotten rock have claimed lives, as a fatal fall in 2024 tragically reminded us. Number 4. The Catatumbo Lightning. On the northern shore of Venezuela's Lake Maracaibo, night after night, an unending electric ballet plays out above the wetlands. Known as Eternal Storm, Catatumbo lightning rages up to 260 days a year, sometimes spawning 280 strikes in a single hour. Arcing up to 5 kilometers and surging with 400,000 amps, sheets of blue and violet lightning illuminate the sky for over 10 hours each night, earning it the mariner's nickname, the Lighthouse of Maracaibo. What fuels this spectacle? Cold mountain air tumbling down from the Andes collides with warm, moisture-laden breezes from the Caribbean, triggering towering storm clouds over the lake basin. Organic decay in the swamp releases methane that, when ionized in the clouds, turbocharges each discharge. Surrounded on 3 sides by steep shoulders of land, the storms stall and persist in an endless loop. Catatumbo produces nearly 10% of the world's tropospheric ozone by lightning alone, though a 5-week interruption during the 2010 drought showed just how fragile this natural powerhouse can be. Debate still swirls over methane's exact role, but whether for its mystery or its raw power, these storms remain our planet's most riveting live experiment in atmospheric electricity. Number 3. The Eye of the Sahara. From a window of a passing spacecraft, the Sahara seems serene until you spot a giant bullseye imprinted on its sands. The Rickhat structure, better known as the Eye of the Sahara, spans 48 kilometers in concentric rings of rock, so distinct they're visible from space. Born over 100 million years ago when ancient continents split, magma swelled beneath the crust into a circular dome. Over tens of millions of years, wind and rain peeled away softer layers, revealing the tougher, erosion-resistant bands we see today. The eye's core, roughly 30 kilometers across, is crowned by siliceous breccia and rhyolite from Cretaceous volcanic activity, shot through with chalky carbonate veins and rare kimberlite intrusions. Surrounding rings of Ordovician quartzites and sedimentary sandstone form stair-step mesas. They're tilted strata at 10 to 20 degrees, carving the terrace shape. Once mistaken for an impact crater, the absence of shock cores confirmed a more subtle birth, a cooperative drama of magma wells and relentless erosion. Even now, geologists puzzle over why its rings are so perfectly concentric, making the Eye of the Sahara one of Earth's great unsolved geological masterpieces. Number 2. The Door to Hell. In the heart of Turkmenistan's Karakum Desert blazes the Darvaza gas crater, nicknamed the Door to Hell, one of humanity's most surreal geological landmarks. Since 1971, when Soviet drillers accidentally punctured a vast underground gas cavern and the ground collapsed beneath their rig, scientists set the crater alight to stave off toxic methane leaks. Yet more than 54 years later, as of 2025, its 69-meter-wide maw still roars, flames leaping up to 10 meters high and casting a golden glow visible even from space at night. Beneath the surface, methane accounts for over 90% of the vented gases, along with unusually high concentrations of ethane and propane, together comprising about 35%. These hydrocarbons seep through fractures in a 400-meter-deep Aegean shale layer, fueling the unceasing inferno. Over the decades, Turkmen authorities have attempted to extinguish the blaze, most notably in 2010 and again in 2022, but the complex network of subterranean channels and the crater's unstable burn dynamics defeated every effort. Today, the churning flames draw adventurous travelers to desert camping trips led by expert guides, while geologists study the site's micromethane leaks to understand its impact on regional greenhouse gas levels. The Darvaza crater stands as both a tourist magnet and a living laboratory for shale gas behavior beneath the sands. Number 1. The Undersea Waterfall Illusion. Off the southwest coast of Mauritius lies a breathtaking mirage that fools the eye from space, an undersea waterfall cascading down the continental shelf. From overhead, the interplay of currents and light refraction turns a slope of calcium-rich sands into what looks like a plunging abyss, as if the ocean itself were tumbling over a cliff. This optical illusion springs from Mauritius's volcanic birth roughly 1 million years ago. The island's western shelf plunges nearly 3,500 meters into the ocean, where the warm Agulhas current collides with hidden reefs and churns shallow sands seaward at speeds of about 1.5 meters per second. When the midday sun strikes at a 45 to 60 degrees angle, the fine white sediments glint like liquid silver, while the deep sea trench absorbs light into stark, inky blue. At their dynamic boundary, our brains stitch together a waterfall effect. Scientific surveys estimate that some 5 billion tons of sediment flow through this optical channel into the deep each year, driving temperature salt circulations that help regulate a 2 to 3 degrees Celsius thermal gradient across the southern Indian Ocean and maintain oxygen levels in the depths. While a handful of other submarine falls exist, such as in the Denmark Strait, only Mauritius's version, amplified by a 300:1 visual drop versus the actual 20 meters, and crystal clear tropical waters, can be spotted from orbit, earning the crown of the world's most spectacular false waterfall. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like and subscribe.